What's up, YouTube, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Champions League week once again, and I just want to go over my predictions for who I think will advance to the round of 16 and ultimately who I think will win the Champions League. So, if you're new here, feel free to stick around, leave a like, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the month, so let's get it. We're currently at 96, so that would be much appreciated. Thank you. And let's get to the video. So, going over the results for last week, obviously the top 8 automatically advance to the round of 16. The rest now have to beef it out amongst themselves, and the winner of those will then face the top 8. So we had Galatasaray beat Juventus 5-2, which is honestly very surprising. Osimhen in this game was incredible. I don't believe he bagged any goals, maybe an assist. Let me see, maybe an assist, Osimhen, but let's look at the lineup. So I got Galatasaray at Osman. Yeah, no goals, but no. 6.8. That brother worked hard for this team. I've watched him in Nigeria. I've watched him for Galatasaray. He works hard, and he worked extremely hard in this game. So this 6.8 is unjustified in my personal opinion. My humble opinion, that's completely unjustified because he created 3 goals straight up. He didn't assist them, but if it wasn't for the work rate he put in, they wouldn't have scored 3 goals. Simple as that. 3 of those goals at least. So credit to Osimhen. That's all I want to say. And I might make a video of Nigerians actually in Europe because we're doing pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, Galatasaray beat Juventus 5-2. Real Madrid beat Benfica 1-0. Now this was kind of the talk of the game. Now we had an incident, unfortunately, where the game had to be paused for a bit because of a racial incident. I believe it was this guy right here. He allegedly yelled or spoke some racial slurs to Vinny. The reason why it's so sus is because usually you have lip readers, right? And there are people who literally watch the game, watch what the players are saying, and can basically make out what they're saying based on the movements of their mouth. Now, in order to combat that, he actually ended up covering up his mouth and was talking like this. And he allegedly said something racist to Vinny. Vinny spoke to the ref, and pretty much now I don't think anything's going to be done with it because you can't. There's nothing to investigate. He covered his mouth, and so that's for me pretty sus. Just because, I mean, if you had something good to say, you wouldn't cover your mouth in the first place. So I think actions like this is unacceptable. I think it's important to still highlight that, it's not 100% confirmed. The club did speak out against it, which I think is a lie. I'll be honest. Mourinho, also, who's their manager, also spoke out against it, saying, he didn't do anything wrong, which, in my opinion, I think it just puts him in a tough spot because, you have to back your players nonetheless, especially if it isn't confirmed like that. But I'm sure they had some internal discussions just to clear out the air and trying to calm down the situation. But regardless, behavior like that is unacceptable, and I just wanted to speak a little bit on that because that's completely unfair. I mean, as much as you can hate Vinny as much as you want, but that doesn't give you justification to be racist. Simple as that. So extremely disappointed with the situation, and hopefully things get cleared up a little bit. But fortunately for Vinny and for Real Madrid, he ended up scoring a banger that game. So I guess he got his revenge, but still, not good to. It's not good to see. Not good to see. We come here to enjoy football, not to have to face these other issues. But that's enough of that. Real Madrid then beat Benfica. We then have PSG. PSG were losing 2-0 to Monaco. They ended up winning 3-2, I believe. Yeah, so because I watched a little bit of that game, I couldn't catch the whole thing. I guess that's wrong. Hey, what? Yeah, no, I'm right. Okay, never mind. I'm right. I'm tweaking. Yeah, the Monaco scored in the first minute and the 18th minute. PSG ended up equalizing, scoring, equalizing, and then actually winning the game. So it shows good character for PSG. I think you expect PSG to win regardless, honestly. So no surprise that they won, but it did take character. The bigger surprise is the fact that they were 2-0 down, honestly. Dortmund versus Atlanta. Dortmund won 2-0. Pretty calm game. I think it's what you would expect. Dortmund isn't quite that good. I'll be honest. They're second in the Bundesliga this season. However, they've really died down. They aren't the powerhouse they used to be back, 2012 and then, you know what I'm saying? 2012 and even, to 2017, around that time, they had a bit more respect. But weren't they in the Champions League final not too long ago? They were in Champions League final the year before last year, so 2024. They're in the Champions League final. I remember Sancho was there. So they're all right. But I mean, even in that Champions League final, there was no chance they're going to win. I think we all knew that. Anyway, but glad to see they won. Newcastle's tearing it up in Europe. What's this guy's name? Gordon. He's breaking records, but he's breaking records. He's doing his thing back, in the Champions League. I think he broke Alan Shearer's record for most Champions League goals scored by a Newcastle player, and a few other records as well. So I mean, hey, Newcastle, they haven't really been in Champions League as much, so in their history really. So I'm not surprised, but they're doing bits, and hopefully they go far. I'm actually rooting for Newcastle. If they win, I would like to see them win. I would like to see an underdog win personally. They won 6-1 again in their tie, and I guess is what you'd expect. That the team they played, quarterback isn't really that great anyway, so I wouldn't say I expected anything less. Bodo Glimt. Now, Bodo Glimt has been the surprise of the season so far in the Champions League. Norwegian team, they've been tearing it up. They tore it up in the group stages, or in the league phase. Not tearing it up now. They beat Inter 3-1. Inter is currently top. I'm pretty sure Inter is top of the Italian league. Yeah, they are, and they tore them up 3-1. So they're doing bits. Norway's, they're on fire, and I think this is the first World Cup qualification for them in I don't know how many years or ever. Capacity. Look at their stadium capacity, 8,000. They're not a they're not a big club, but it's nice to see just small clubs like this just really doing well in the Champions League. This is what football is meant to be. It's one of the only sports where you can have a small team just have a run of a lifetime. It's the most unpredictable game in my opinion. Maybe bar ping pong, I guess. I don't even know, but I don't know why I brought that up. But anyway, football is one of the most unpredictable games out there. And seeing a team like this just tear it up, I really hope they go far. If that final is against Bodo Glimt and Newcastle, I mean, you best believe I'll eat that up. Like, that'll be great to see. We have Club Brugge versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid is an iffy club because I'm pretty sure, I think it was before this game, they beat Barcelona 4-0, or was it after? I think it was before this game, actually. They beat Barcelona 4-0. Let's see what their... Can we see their, history? So they beat Barcelona 4-0, but then they lost 3-0 to Real Vallecano. So, Vallecano, whatever. So, they're a team that kind of all over the place. They drew 3-3 to Club Brugge. Who do I think will qualify? We'll go over that next. Lastly, Bayern Leverkusen. They won 2-0 against Olympiacos. So, Bayer Leverkusen, they're not quite the team that they were last season or the season before that. However, they're still a proper team. They still have a lot of good players, though. But they're still a proper team. You expect them to qualify. But my predictions for sure, I think before this game, Galatasaray versus Juventus, I probably would have said Juventus, but looking at this first leg scoreline, I mean, come on. I don't see Juventus coming back from this, so I'd have to say Juventus. Benfica versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid won 4-0. Real Madrid won 1-0. However, I would like to see Benfica qualify, considering how they ended up qualifying for this stage in the first place. I want to see them go a bit further. So I think they can beat Real Madrid. They've done it before. They could do it again. I think this might go down to pens. And if it goes down to pens, no Mourinho, if it goes down to pens, and Real Madrid isn't that great, this season anyway. So if it goes down to pens, I think it could be anyone, really. PSG versus Monaco. I think PSG is going to win. Nothing else needs to be said, really. Dortmund are going to qualify. Newcastle is definitely going to qualify. Bodo Glimt. Here's where it gets a little tricky. I don't know if Bodo Glimt can continue their good form, but they've been consistent enough this season where I believe that they probably can. They have a 2-goal lead here. Currently 3-1 aggregate. I think, if they simply just hold it down or keep doing what they're doing, honest, they don't need to hold it down. They have something to protect, but they don't need to hold it down. They're actually a better team than Inter. With the way they're playing now, they're actually a better team. So I trust them to really take it and just fly with it. Let's go Madrid versus Club Brugge. I think let's go Madrid. One thing I want to say, Lukman, he's doing bits. He's doing bits for this team. I mean, this brother was just signed and has already really shown like who he is in this team. Like, it's not even funny. Let's see if we can see his stats, because this brother, goals, assists, minutes played. Is this in the Champions League? This might be in the Champions League. Let's see player profile. Let's see. Height 5'9". He's 1 inch shorter than me. 5'10". I don't lie about my height. Let's see his statistics. La Liga. Oh, he hasn't scored any goal in La Liga? Wait, didn't he score against Barcelona? I'm so confused. Did he score against Barcelona? Yeah, he has, what is this? This is goals, right? He's played 5 games, he scored 3 goals. I was about to say. Like, what are you talking about? I'm so confused. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on here. But he's been playing pretty well for them. What's going on? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 goals. 1, 2, 3. 3 assists. Yeah, he has 3 goals and 3 assists since he started playing since January for Let's Go Madrid. So that's how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 goal contributions in 10 games. That's not a bad start to his career at Atletico Madrid. So he's doing well. It's nice to see our Nigerian brothers represent. It's nice to see it, for real. It really is. It really is. Let's keep going. So we have. I don't know why I keep doing that. So who do I think will qualify? I think Atletico Madrid will qualify. Simply just because I think they have the better players overall. They just need to get their shit together. But they have the better players, so I think they will qualify. Bayer Leverkusen, I think, will qualify, no question there. And I think once these teams qualify, now they go into the knockout stages, where they then play the top 8. Ultimately, who do I think will win the Champions League? Just with so there are two clubs who I think are favorites, right? I think we have Arsenal, and I think we have possibly Man City, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. Do they have it in them? Chelsea. This is the most hardest to predict Champions League I have seen in a long time. Last year, I think we all knew PSG are close. It was between PSG and Barca. Barca didn't make it. The year before that, I think it was pretty clear. I forget who won it. This season, I think it's the hardest to really predict. I think Arsenal are probably the clear favorites. However, they have dropped a lot in form. And I pray to God they don't win, because we can't allow that to happen. I think all the memes of them not having won a European title, like, we just need to maintain that. Just for the culture of football. For all the fans out there, neutral, supporters, enemies, we just need to maintain that. They cannot win. And for the fans to continue being humble, because with the way their fans talk right now, if they want a European title, God knows what will happen. The things that will be said, Lord have mercy. There will be war, and so they can't win. In my humble opinion. However, unfortunately, I do have to say they're definitely the favorites. So they might as well win it. If I had to predict, I would say it's Arsenal. They're probably the best team. They already beat Bayern this season. I think they could do it again. Can they beat Man City? If they come across Man City, I'm not too sure, but I think they can. They're capable of beating any team. Chelsea, Barca. Who do I want to win? I'd have to say Barcelona. I don't want any English team to win it if it's not Man United. Barcelona or Bayern. However, if I had to predict one, it would be Arsenal, unfortunately. So please kill me. But anyway, these are my thoughts on the Champions League fixtures. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. It'll be an exciting few games coming up. So tune in to Champions League. Grab your popcorn, grab your beer, grab whatever it is you drink, your orange juice. Sit back and enjoy football. Cheers. That's all I got for you guys. And peace.